Good morning, genealogy friends. Hopefully my phone works today. It looks like it's doing okay so far. I wanted to do kind of a fun little shopping exercise today. I wanted to talk about, I was going to do a video about why I don't sell printed pages, and then I thought, it would be more fun if I actually illustrated exactly why I don't sell printed pages and how if you have a certain budget for family history, you could do more with it than just give me money for printed pages. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of shop today, and we're going to spend some imaginary money on family history. Flip this around. Good morning. Oh, I'm a little puffy. Having a little bit of a flare up today. So I get asked a lot from people who are just learning about family tree notebooks. I want to do all these pages, but I don't like the technology angle. I don't want to print things out at home. I really just want to pay you for your pages. Can you print them out and then you mail them to me and I'll buy them that way? And it's hard because I can see the convenience of that, especially when you're used to buying, forms and worksheets from other places, or workbooks or things like that you fill in. The problem with that is that the pages are designed to be used over and over again for ancestors. And so if you have, let's say conservatively, you're going to put together a family history notebook and you're going to do 100 ancestors. There's 100 ancestors that are each going to have their own individual chapter. And we're not even going to count the pages that you're going to use for the index or anything like that. We're just talking about these 100 ancestors. Each of them are going to have 10 pages. If you give me $1 per page for me to print it out and mail it to you, or if you were able to, visit my mythical store that doesn't exist and walk in and it was $1 per page, that's 1,000 pages. And now you're out of pages. And if you want to add anything to your book, if you want to add an index or any, if you made a mistake on one of the pages and you want to switch it out, you are out $1,000 and you still, your book's not finished. The thing with digital pages is that you pay for the bundle once and then you have the pages on your computer. You can use your computer to add photos and text, or you can use your printer to just print off the pages at that point and fill them out by hand. And yes, you have to pay for a piece of paper and some ink if you're going to print them out at home, but that piece of paper and that ink is not going to cost you $1 a page. It's just not. And if it did, then you've got the wrong printer, because wall printer ink can add up. It doesn't add up that fast. It doesn't add up to $1 a page, or nobody would print anything out. So let's say that I convinced you that you don't want to give me your $1,000, that even though I'd be happy to take it for your printed pages, I'm just going to sell you these digital pages and I'm going to sell them to you for the regular, digital price. And now you've got this original $1,000 budget that you were going to give me for all of these printed pages to make your 100 ancestor book. And now what are you going to do with it? So let's do 3 different scenarios of how you would spend your earmarked $1,000. So I'll flip around. We're going to shop together. Okay, so first, obviously, you're going to buy my bundle, right? Because this is what you wanted in the first place. And you've decided that you want the USA right-handed 200-page bundle, and you want it in thistle because you like this purpley color, purpley pink, and you're set. So it's $29. Let's say in this scenario, you're going to invest in some other tech stuff. You're not really sure if you can do the digital pages thing, but you've watched some of my videos and you're pretty sure, okay, maybe I can handle this if I've got the right equipment. So we're going to do technology. This is the technology scenario. And we have just spent bundle of pages. We have just spent $29 out of your 1,000. So we are at 29 right now. Okay, so the next thing that you need, you've watched me, you see that I do my pages on the iPad. I'm like, okay, that looks like that would be easier than using my computer that I'm not really comfortable with. So you're going to make the investment in an iPad. iPads are expensive, but you go ahead and you're going to get a new iPad and you're going to get 128 gigabytes of space on it, which is pretty big because you don't want to worry about running out of space if you've got a lot of pages or photos. Even though I've said, you could get gig, you could get a 32 gig and you'd probably be fine. You just want to make sure that you're covered. You're also thinking that maybe you'll want to use your iPad for other things. Maybe you'll want to put a movie on there or something like that for the next time if we're ever on airplanes again. So let's go with the 128 gig iPad. So that's going to cost you $430. Side note, if any of you are looking at how I'm holding my pencil and you're horrified, yes, I hold my pencil very wrong. I have my entire life. There's a theory that it's related to random childhood developmental stuff. Do not be distracted. I can write perfectly fine, except for the iPad looks wonky because I was looking at it through my phone. Okay, so now we've got an iPad, but the thing is, you've watched me do the pages, so you know that in addition to the iPad, you're going to want a pencil because you think you're going to want to, you're not sure if you're going to want to write on your pages or if you're going to want to type your, captions and things out. But you know that the pencil kind of makes it easier to move things around and crop things down and stuff like that. So you definitely want the pencil. So you're going to add a pencil to your order, and the pencil is going to be $95. Okay, so we're adding $95 and we are up to $554. It's a math morning. Okay, so we're more than half of your budget, but now you've got an iPad, a brand new iPad and a brand new Apple Pencil. You just spent a ton on your iPad, so you want to make sure that you get a case for it. So you pick out this case for $16, just in case you accidentally, it falls off the couch or something. So $16, and that has brought us up to $570. Okay, so you keep watching my videos, you realize that I've digitized everything, and that's how I'm getting images into my notebook using my iPad. And you think, okay, I want to do that, so I'm going to need a scanner. So you look around and you decide that you want this Canon Scanner, which is the one that I recommend, and it is going to cost you $89. So now we're at $659. Okay, so doing good. So you've got your scanner, you've got your iPad, you've got your pencil, you're making pages, it's actually going pretty well, and now you need to print them out. And the printer that you have at home, you're not thrilled with, you want something a little bit sharper, so you decide to get yourself a new printer, and you get yourself this HP OfficeJet, which comes with 8 free months of ink. So for the next 8 months, you can print, and if you run out of ink, they will be able to see it automatically and they'll mail you ink before you run out. And so you're all covered for the next 8 months. And this printer is going to cost you $200. So brand new printer. Look at you with all your new tech. All right, we just spent $200 on a printer. Did you guys ever do this in school where you fake spent money? I actually used to love activities like this. I was really good at spending fake money. Incidentally, I'm very good at spending real money too. Okay, so you've got a printer. You're at $859, but you still have some wiggle room in your budget. So, okay, what else can I do? Well, you've been watching my videos and you've heard me say that you need to back your stuff up over and over again. You've been using Google Drive for free, but now you're thinking that you want to have some sort of backup that you can actually hold in your hand. So you're going to get a portable external hard drive, and you're going to get one for 2 terabytes, which is a huge amount of money and will easily hold all of the pages that you're creating and all of those photos that you've digitized. Let's see. 2 terabyte hard drive. I was going to write the brand name in, but I think that I like Seagate, but you don't have to get a Seagate, so we're just going to skip. $60, and so that puts us at $919. Okay. What else? So you've got your iPad, you've got your scanner, you've got everything, and now you're thinking, well, I have some wiggle room left. I'm only at $919. I've got, but $80 left. What am I going to do? Well, the other things that you can do with your iPad, in addition to, adding photos and everything to the pages like I do, is you can read. So you're going to get a digital magazine subscription to Family Tree, and you're going to splurge and go ahead and get the website VIP subscription for a little bit more, which is going to let you access all sorts of articles on the Family Tree website. So let's add that in. So Family Tree magazine digital subscription for a year, and that cost you $50. And now we are at $9.69, so you still got a little bit more space. And then you realize that you forgot to buy my book, so you're going to get the digital copy now that you're used to reading things on your iPad. So let's see, my Sharpie got caught in my sleeve. My book. All right, and then that's going to cost you $20, and we have ended up at $9.89. Oh, you guys are coming up with good ideas. I did not anticipate for some of these. So maybe you have to dip a little bit farther, or maybe you don't get your Family Tree notebooks or Family Tree magazine subscription or something. But let's say you've got about $11 left, then I would say you could just spend that on getting some episodes of Finding Your Roots and downloading that to your iPad and being able to enjoy it. So Finding Your Roots, those are, I think they're a couple of bucks per episode. I actually pay for the PBS app, and it's amazing. I give them $5 a month, and I get to watch all sorts of stuff, and I would recommend it. But let's say you made up the difference, and that's how you get to your $1,000 budget. And now instead of giving me $1,000 for printed pages, you can print off all of the pages that you want, especially in the first 8 months with your new printer, and you can make them all fancy with your iPad and your pencil and your case, and you've got your scanner, and you're backing things up to your hard drive. And since you've got all this downtime because you've gotten all of this done, now you can read your magazine and watch your episodes. And yeah, so anyway, this is the technology scenario. But let's back it up. Let's say that you don't want to do technology. You already have a computer and you're happy with it, and you've got a printer and you've got a scanner and all of that sort of stuff. You just wanted my pages. So we're going to flip and start over. All right, so let's say that what you really want to do with your $1,000, this is what I gravitate towards. Although I say that, but I have all of the tech that I just showed you. So I guess I do spend money on tech first. But I like to spend money on education. I feel like that's always money well spent. So let's do an education scenario. Oh, sorry. Education. Okay, so you've bought my bundle of pages, because we're always going to buy my bundle of pages. You can't have my pages without buying my pages. But they're digital, so they only cost you $29, and now you have 200 pages. So 29, and we're starting with 29. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to buy my book, and you are not somebody who wants the digital copy. You want the paperback copy. So you're heading to Amazon to buy my book in paperback so that you know how to use the pages. And we're going to say that my book is going to cost you $30 because that is the price, even though right now Amazon has decided that the price is $23.86. In case you're wondering, I have nothing to do with this. I have no idea why the price changes from day to day. It's all about Amazon. I get the same amount, or don't get the same amount. I mean, it's basically being sold at cost, so I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, let's say that it is the price I set, which is $29.99. So you're getting the paperback book to show you how to use the bundle that you just bought. And that's going to cost you $30 because Amazon has calmed down with pricing. And so now we're at $59. Okay. So you've got quite a bit of room left in your $1,000 budget for education. And you decide that you want to really get a lot of education in one place, and that you're going to enjoy the fact that a lot of events have gone virtual because of the pandemic. So you are going to treat yourself to a registration to the National Genealogical Society conference for 2021, because it is on demand and you can enjoy it from home. Now, you're not an NGS member, but you are able to take advantage of the early bird pricing because it's now, and this is when you're buying stuff. So we're going to pay $425 for you to be able to attend the NGS conference from the comfort of your own home, knowing that you're going to get access to speakers and syllabi and all sorts of awesomeness that is going to change your life. So we just added $425 to $59, and that gives us $484. So that was a pretty big spend, but you get a lot of education there. You get really pumped up about going, but it's not for a little while. So you decide that you want to give yourself kind of a basis before you go to the conference so that you aren't spending your time on, watching basic classes when you could be watching something a little more advanced. So you're going to go ahead and take the NGS American Genealogical Studies Basics Course, and you're still not a member. I don't know why you're not a member, but you're still not a member. So it's going to cost you $65. But you're going to get a good foundation in genealogy basics. Basics course, and what did we say? $65. So that puts us at, brain's popping, $549. Okay. And then you really enjoy the basics class. It's not quite time for the NGS conference. So you go ahead and you splurge on another one, and you do the Beyond the Basics, which is the next step. And this class is more intense. So since you're still not a member for some reason, you're going to pay $200 for this one. But look at all of this education you're getting. And it's all helping you fill out your pages. Beyond the Basics, $200 is easy math, $749. Okay, so you've taken these two classes. The conference finally comes and goes. You get a lot of great information, and people keep referencing some books. So you decide to head back to Amazon and stock your bookshelf. So the first thing you do is you get Evidence Explained, because people won't shut up about it and you have no idea how to do citations. So you buy Evidence Explained from Elizabeth Joan Mills, and the price is $59.95 because Amazon's not being weird with her book. Evidence Explained, and we'll call that $60. But now you own it. 60, and that has put us up to $809. And then people also talked a lot about, in your American Genealogy Basics class, they talked a lot about the Researcher's Guide to American Genealogy, which is a big fat book full of information, and you said you want this one too. So Researcher's Guide, and we're going to call that $50 because it's $49.95. And that has brought your total up to $859. And then the last book that people kept mentioning was this book about DNA, which you don't know a lot about, but you know that you want to learn more about it. And so you look through and you find this kind of entry-level one that everybody seems to own, and you get it. It's the Family Tree Guide to DNA. So Family Tree DNA book. And it is coming in... Okay, and they're being weird with his pricing too, but the list price is $29.99, so we're going to call it that. So let's say it's $30. I wonder if as they sell more, the price goes down. That's really weird. So the F2 DNA book, we're going to call it $30 because it's supposed to be $30. And if you happen to go to buy it someday after this video, I don't want you to be disappointed. So that has brought us up to $889, and now we've got 100-ish dollars left, and you've done all of this education. Your bookshelf has these 3 great books on it, and you feel like you're really ready to dive in and apply what you've learned. So you're going to spend $100 on a couple months of all access to Ancestry, because you feel like in the next 2 months you really have time to focus and get a lot of stuff done, and you think you can knock out quite a bit in just a couple of months. So we're going to do 2 months of Ancestry and hope that they give you a screaming deal when you try to cancel. And then that has brought you to $9.89, and you have actually just saved yourself $11, or you've gone and bought, the paper and the Good Notes app, or Finding Your Roots episodes, or everything else that people are talking about. So look at all this stuff. When you could have given me $1,000 for printed pages, and instead you basically have, this massive high-level genealogy education, and you can teach your own classes. Okay, let's do one more scenario. Let's say that you want to get the pages because you want the book like you want your books to look like mine. You want to be able to make a book for your grandchildren, but you don't like the idea of doing tech. You don't really want to spend all this time learning how to do it yourself. You basically just want to take all of the things that are in boxes and you want to put them into books, and you aren't too worried about learning how to do extra research or, becoming a scanning master. You just kind of want your boxes to turn into books. So we're going to call this the memories scenario. Let me put my Sharpie down. Memories, no hassle. I want to make pages, but I don't want to do all of this annoying stuff. And let's say that you already have a computer and a scanner, and let's just say you have a computer so that you can do the pages. Okay, so we're gonna start with my pages again, because you can't do the pages unless you buy the pages. So you're buying that bundle, the Thistle, and this is you have to remember, these are all separate scenarios. There's no reason for you to be buying the same bundle over and over again, because if you buy it once, it's digital, you own it. So it's $29. So we're starting at $29. And then you also decide that you're going to buy my book, but you're going to buy the digital book. You're fine looking at it on the computer. You're going to be using the computer you have, or maybe you already have an iPad or something to make the pages. So digital copy to my book, digital book, and we're going to call that 20. So we're at 49. Okay. Now you've got tons and tons of stuff in boxes. You don't want to deal with scanning them, even if you had a nice scanner. You just want the stuff digitized. So you decide to go ahead and outsource, and you outsource to this company called Legacy Box. I am not affiliated with them. I have never done work with them, and this is not me recommending them. This is me saying that I know that this is a company that a lot of people use. So I'm putting that out there right now. If you've worked with them and you didn't like it, I'd like to hear about it. If you worked with them and you loved it, I'd like to hear about it. I have no experience with them. But you've got a ton of stuff, so you're going to splurge. And they're having the sale right now, so we're going to take advantage of the sale price. And you're going to do this 40-item trunk, and that's going to let you send in pictures and VHS tapes and a couple reels of film, and you think that the 40-item trunk is going to cover you. So we're going to digitize 40 items to Legacy Tree. Even though Carly is very confident that we can learn how to scan and that it's not hard, Legacy Box is what it's called. Even though Carly fully has belief in our capacity to scan and digitize our own things, we just don't, we don't want to spend the time. We've got a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to spend the $590 and be happy that we didn't have to do that. And that is going to bump our spend up to $688. But now we've got all of this stuff that's digitized, and they've sent it back to us, and it's all safe and happy. And we have all of these digital photos, and we can start putting that into our book on our computer using programs that we already have. And now we know that we wanted to make photo books for our 4 children for Christmas, doing, using these pages and all of this digital stuff. And so we're going to make pages, and then we're going to go to Blurb, and we're going to say we made books that are 150 pages long, and we want them to be printed. Let's see. Oh, this is actually, I picked the wrong one, but let's say that we're playing around with the pricing, and we know that the books are going to be $76 each. I've just got the wrong orientation, but it's the same price. So it's going to be $76 to print these high quality photo books, because we're going to Blurb, which is kind of expensive. Blurb photo books, but we really want them to look nice. So that's why we're going to one of the higher end printers for these holiday gifts. And we're going to do 4 at $76 each. And that is going to be $304, bringing our total up to $992. And then we have $8 left to buy a couple episodes of Finding Your Roots. And so here we haven't had to do a ton of work, and our goal was accomplished, which is what we really wanted to do. We just wanted to get things digitized and into photo books that were able to tell the stories of ancestors and make sure that those books got into the hands of family. Anyway, I hope this was a fun exercise for you. I feel like I could have just said, you can save yourself $1,000 by not giving me $1,000 and only giving me $30, and you guys probably would have gotten the point. But sometimes I think that looking at concrete examples can actually, two things. I think that it can really drive home how far you can stretch your money if you're creative. And then also, I do feel like people get overwhelmed at the cost of genealogy or the cost of getting new tech equipment. But I think when you write it out, sometimes things, I think people are occasionally surprised at how inexpensive some tech has become. Scanners were really, really, really pricey 10 years ago, and they weren't that good. And now you can get an amazing scanner that will last for years and be a total workhorse, and you can get it for under $100. Same with the printers. I think you can get really good printers. I am a fan of the HP because I like the ink subscription because of how often I print and how much I do not enjoy having to go out and buy ink at the store. And I think that they've managed to make those printers pretty affordable because it's a competitive market. That's the other thing, is that as technology comes out and they're competing with each other. I mean, the funny thing is Apple actually competes with itself. They have to lower the price of the iPads as they bring out new models because they have to, price things accordingly. You can't have the old model and the new model be the same price, and you don't want the new model to constantly be $1,000 more than whatever the thing is that you released 5 years ago. So you've got this great technology that still works, and it's just because they're coming out with new stuff, the price just goes lower and lower and lower, even though the functionality of the technology is actually still really similar. And so, yeah, just a fun exercise, just something. Just thought I'd do play money on Thursday. Okay, I will be back tomorrow. I hope you guys really enjoy the rest of your day. Look at these. I gotta hang some family photos. I had other stuff hanging up there, and I decided that ripping it off the wall would be fine and nobody would notice. Not true. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.